Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to this episode of Moments of Inspiration with William Kokodia. In this episode, we will be looking at creating your own timeline, the holistic view. Let's see this as a part 2 of creating your own timeline. Life certainly does present us with ups and downs, lefts and rights, highs and lows, moments of absolute joy and moments of pure sadness. But the truth is, the decision to carry on, progress, stand up, stand still, backpedal, run away, or stay down is absolutely ours. How do you convince a young boy in war-torn Syria who sees death around him daily that he should create a life timeline for himself and believe in it? Or a child from the Middle East has indicated studying in Europe as a point in his timeline. Does he think it's going to be all smiles in these times? Or a child growing up in a very poor country whose first thoughts as he wakes up is survival, is told to create a timeline of what he or she wants to be and how long this will take to achieve. Do you think he or she will believe that first, whatever they put down is actually achievable, and second, it will come to pass? First of all, we really can't choose our origin of birth, nor who our parents are, which means that we are born into certain situations and environments that we have no control over. This scenario presents a different challenge to life for each child. Some are obviously tougher than others, thus creating different mindsets and views to life. Thus, what might be a goal or an achievement for one child might be a starting point for another, possibly make no sense to another, or possibly not be considered by yet another child. But the truth is, there are 4 values that are very vital to anyone who desires to create a timeline and work towards achieving it. These are a strong desire to succeed, belief in yourself, hope and prayer, the belief that you have a place in God's plan. Irrespective of environment, if you find these 4 pieces, aiming for the stars, you will at least reach the sky. I do agree it is a tough ask, appreciating that there might be bullets and bombs dropping around your domain, or the next meal is not assured, or you live in a poor estate and gang violence is prevalent, or you've grown up in a home where drug sale is the way of life. But if you can grasp those 4 values, you will find a way to surround yourself with the positive influences that will help you achieve your goal. Dr. Georges Boele got inspired to become a medical doctor that would bring hospitals to the villages in Cameroon after seeing his father die from injuries in a car accident after years of poor treatment. Graduating from medical school well into his 30s, his desire was almost achieved as he realized that there is just one doctor to about 5,000 people in that country. He has set up a foundation, Ascovim, which reaches villages in Cameroon every weekend to provide health services to the villagers. He was honored as a top 10 CNN hero in 2013. Despite coming from a poor background, he has created his timeline, held on to those values, aimed for the stars, and did reach the sky. William Kamkamba was a small boy from a poor family in the Malawian village of Mastala in the area of Wimbi in the Kusungu district. Despite being in the midst of drought, from a young age he always wondered why his village had no electricity. And from age 12, when he read a book called Using Energy, he became very interested in building his own version of the wind turbine. Whenever he was in the capital city, which is over 2.5 hours walk from his village, he read books at the library, then looked for local materials along with scrap metal to create his own design. At age 14, he had built a small windmill that generated electricity for his home. He then expanded on this and built a bigger version that generated electricity for the village. What a feat! He got worldwide acclaim and was called in by various institutions for talks, including MIT in the US. And he received accolades and awards. What a dream achieved. For many Syrians in Turkey, adjusting to living in a new country as a refugee is a challenge. Navigating residency regulations, finding housing and jobs, all in a foreign language, is chaotic and difficult. Web designer Mojahed Akil arrived in Turkey in 2011 after being detained by Syrian regime forces and saw an opportunity to help fellow Syrians create their new lives. The app he created, called Gebna, provides refugees with news about which border crossings are open, which areas are safe, and much needed guidance to a confusing and disorientating process. It is hard for millions of people who have been displaced because of the conflict in Syria, leaving their homes, jobs, and families, move to foreign countries and try to adapt to new lives. Mojahed Akil's app is dedicated to Syrians who are working to build a new life, mainly in Turkey. The app updates users on nearby available job positions and also about registration requirements for Syrian students at Turkish universities. A desire, a will, and hope, bringing achievement and fulfillment. Then you have someone like Anthony Delaney, the leader of the Manchester Ivy Church, who grew up in a council estate in Manchester with gangs and violence, but after a stint in them, opted for the police force, where he became a cadet at 16. He has opted for life from the pulpit after seeing and experiencing the life of chasing down criminals and dealing with gang problems, believing religion is the way to change bad habits. Now 46, his congregation has grown tremendously in an area where Christianity dwindles As he says, the principle here is love for all. His congregation boasts members who are ex-prostitutes, ex-drug addicts, ex-prisoners, including movie and music producers, authors and scientists, totally embracing both young and old, with events and programs to accommodate everyone. So, whatever the situation, let us always believe that we can find our paths, work towards it, pray or meditate about it, and strive to achieve it, as we know that holding on to those 4 values through our timelines are always achievable. Until next time, it is William Kokodia saying, stay blessed.